State of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Market, July 2021. It's been a little while since we've done a global talk about everything that's kind of happening in the market besides, constant market watches, seeing influences on the metagame and things like that. So this is going to be an interesting discussion on the overall status of how things have gone. So let's dig on into this show. Smash your level, subscribe, and so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. So, today, the overall status of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Market. So, what's going on in here from expensive things to kind of keep a little bit of an eye on, so forth. The first thing I want to touch on here is the whole King's Court debacle here. So, overall, King's Court has been pretty much riding the same line for quite some time, the way it looks. At least in the sealed department, the product looks like it's maintaining an interesting course on TCG at 78 a box. That's literally much higher than we expect, but that's not like what we're too crazy about. We already knew that this product long term, after seeing everything that was in it, when you put an alternate rarity of a card in a set, Secret Pharaoh's Rare, Ultra Pharaoh's Rare, it's very interesting. So long term, hold for that product is going to continue to do its thing. Now, the thing that really surprised the world with that set was the release of the Ultra and the Secret Pharaoh's Rare. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. I have not seen any secret foreign copies of Pharaoh's Rare. It's only been English that I've seen. Now, even to this date, I still don't know if the Secret Rare was a misprint. They never told us anything. So, the market still hasn't really figured out what it wants to do with Pharaoh's Rare. Even making this video right now, the Slifer lowest sitting at 640, the Winged Dragon Raw sitting at, about 450, and the Obelisk Secret Rare is down to about 380. It's amazing the Obelisk is doing so poor. And even the Ultras at 100 for Obelisk, I don't get this, man. The Slifer at 100 as well, and it looks like the Raw is settled about 90. So even the standard for the Ultra Pharaoh's Rare looks like it's riding about that $100 mark at the moment. So think about this. Alright, Konami just pulled a new rarity out of nowhere. Alright, it's basically just Millennium Rare, but you know what? Screw it, we'll justify it and call it something crazy at this point. But the creation of this new rare here literally just resulted in one per case, and the value that the market assigned it was it could be $100, it could be 500. It depends on what you pull here. Now, isn't that intriguing to you guys? And the secondary market was the one that assigned that value to that one of. All right, so it's very interesting to see that that's where that all settled. Now, from collector's rares in the set, you could tell that this was the best set of the year, quite honestly, for now, all right? You have the tins literally on the horizon. All right, we're expecting crazy forecasted value out of there. We're expecting Burst of Destiny to be the best core set of the year. I think it might be safe to say that maybe King's Court was the best side set of the year, besides the Mega Tins. So that being said, I think that the market still doesn't really know what it wants to do with Pharaoh's Rare, but I think that that's a story for another day. So, God, man, it's so intriguing. Now, the fact that I also want to touch on these weird Hobby League buyouts that we continue to see happening. Also, the Hobby League Rhoda situation as well is hilarious. You can buy a collector's rare Rhoda for, $100+. Alright, and the thing is, people just keep going back to these old Hobby League cards and buying them out. Now, I understand that there's still the whole argument across the community here from people that, well, I swear the Hobby League cards aren't legal like they were. No, they're legal. Alright, we still have to make this comment every stupid single time from the player base that yes, they are allowed. Obviously, warped cards are warped cards, and they will get you in trouble. So if you do have a Hobby League card that is bowing or, doing something that it shouldn't be doing, then obviously you shouldn't be playing that. But all of these old Hobby League cards are still disappearing off the market, and you're going to want to keep an eye on this, all right? The longer that we go with these Hobby League cards, certain ones will continue to be the targets of buyouts, and they are going to continue to disappear constantly off of the secondary market. And unfortunately, that's just what happens, all right? Hobby League Rare, actually was Upper Deck back in the day, and the thing is, Konami never reprinted Hobby League Rare at any point in time, so it would make sense, not only for collectability and for playability at this point in time. So my point is here, I understand that players love older cards that have cool collectability, that are out of print and are specific rarities. A lot of people did like Hobby League, all right? Believe it or not, they exist. But to see that we're on, the second, third buyout of Rhoda now? I don't know, man. Just go buy your collector's rares. I feel like they're a little bit nicer. Now, I also need to talk about OTS 16. So, OTS 16 was the first time that we saw ultimate rares from a pack in circulation just be over $200. And not only was it one, it was two ulties that maintained a very high price point for, more than 2 to 3 weeks. I would say for about a month plus, Cyber Dragon ran that $200 price point above easy. I believe it was $220 for the most part. But at the end of the day, when you looked at everything, you constantly saw that Cyber Dragon was falling. Obviously, the droplets were maintaining about 240 easily as well. But it was so intriguing to watch this. Part of the reason I think that this was happening was a lot of people actually were picking up more product at that time. It's not a very, very big push-up, but with the ultis being more desirable, with players wanting to actually pick up more product to get these ultis as well, Cyber Dragon and Droplet were both two major pushing points just for players to want to go to locals, play more tournaments. I almost want to say that the influence for more online play might have been a slightly higher driving point for players wanting to pick up packs to pick this stuff up, which means if there's more people wanting to pick up more of the packs that they're playing and buying more product at their LGS, that would technically want to drive down the price point, right? Well, no. Unfortunately, when, collectability and desire from the player base needs these cards, both quantities of 3 of, by the way, most players want 3 droplets, most players want 3 Cyber Dragons. Once again, you get this $600 price point on this higher end cards here, so it all makes sense. And the interesting thing is, the Rise of Destiny side of things here, also we've experienced larger buyouts. We are 2 months away from Megatons here. Talents, droplets, the big metagame staples that Rise brought to the table, they all dropped in price. And then all of a sudden, with the return of competitive play, we saw talents and droplet base rarities shoot back up. The return of paper play did do something. And I know a lot of people were like, well, Robbie, it doesn't. It does matter, man. That return to paper play made people want to pick up cards again. All right. It wasn't a lot, but it was enough to drive that number up just a little bit higher and allow for the price to actually rebound and do something, because typically the closer you are to the reprint, the lower that the cards go. But this time, at least for those, it was an exact opposite driving force that actually drove them back up. So we did see one thing with that announcement return back to paper play, and it did drive up the essential staples for the market. So the status in the the status on the market right now is a very interesting one. I definitely find things to be very interesting. I think a lot of people expected things to drive down where things went up. And overall, I think it's very interesting. So, guys, what do you think about the market? Please leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. Smash it, love, crib out, subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. I'll see you beautiful faces back here later on the day. Peace out, guys.
Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out Vanco40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCO40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mclgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.